Okay, this is the beautiful Husqvarna Viking Model 21. We have previously sold one of these and had so many customers that had bid to try to win it, coming back to us and asking us if we get another one, please list it on eBay. So that's what brought us to list this one at this time. We've had it for a little bit, but we've just gotten done servicing it. So kind of excited to offer it to those particular bidders that had wanted to try to win it the last time. This is an amazing machine in several respects. Number one, it's Swedish made. So the engineering that goes into a machine like this is just beyond measure. We've worked with Pfaffs, Nietzsche's, any of the fine international type brands, and out of any of those, this is my favorite model to work with. Not only because of the huge workspace, but also the size of the motor. And you'll see in the various sew-offs that we do, the heavy-duty side of this machine, the Pfaff 130 or the Pfaff 130-6 come with a pretty impressive 1.3 amp motor. Some of them come with a 1 amp motor, but as a rule 1.3. This Husqvarna Viking Model 21 comes with a 1.5 Swedish motor on it that can sew through anything. So if you're looking for heavy duty, if you're looking for also versatility, because it comes with 3 cams, the cams in and of themselves are very rare. It comes with cams A, B, and C. The sew-off we'll do later in one of the videos will be on cam C, and I'll show you just how easy it is to set this machine up to sew decoratively. But let's look at the machine itself now. I could talk on and on and on about this machine because it's just such a cool machine. So let's start over here on the right side. The first thing I'll show you just above the Royal Crest is the feed dog control. This machine has the capability to not only lower the feed dogs or to drop them, but also gradually bring them down depending on the type of materials that you're working with. So you've got a lot of flexibility in the type of material that you can sew with this machine because it really is a fine-tuning type adjustment. Right above it we've got stitch width. Kind of unconventional because most machines that you look at, they always have the stitch length below the stitch width, but in this case it's the opposite. And also the stitch width, in case you're moving the machine around or in case you're moving around the machine, has also a very convenient lock as well. So once you set the stitch width, you can lock it in place and you don't need to be concerned about it getting bumped and possibly affecting your project outcome. Right above that is the stitch length, and the stitch length gives you a huge variation, anything from 6 stitches per inch all the way down to 30 stitches per inch. And there's even marginal increments that you can go to really fine-tune it even more. Again, just that wonderful Swedish engineering. Right here, you've got an easy button to depress for sewing in reverse. You simply push it in. When you release it, you can simply resume sewing without ever breaking stride on whatever project you're working on. Just to the left, we've got a couple of functions on this control here. Obviously, we've got needle position. By just rotating this one way or the other, you can move your needle position from left to center to right. And also, and I'm going to try to rotate the machine just slightly, and you'll see this later in one of the videos as well. Hopefully the camera can get a shot of this. What this is an adjustment so that when you're sewing decoratively, again, there's just 3 simple steps, as you'll later see, for selecting a pattern with this Husqvarna. This allows you to select that specific pattern on that specific cam by just moving this forward or backwards. So multiple purpose control on this, and very, very easy to use. Let me rotate the machine back. One of the other things that I want to point out about this machine, and I won't be able to fully demonstrate it just because of the limitations of where our camera is positioned, but this Husqvarna Model 21 gets its name automatic because it has a really cool feature. And if you were following our last listing, you've already seen this. But rather than on most machines you have to disengage the clutch in order to wind a bobbin, with this Husqvarna Viking Model 21, you simply take one of the several bobbins that we're going to include with this machine. And on the side of the machine, and the camera can just kind of aim that direction, you're not going to be able to fully see it. I'll try to rotate it somewhat. But all you do is simply snap it on, and by that simple action of snapping it onto the machine, that's the only step you have to take to disengage the clutch. If the camera wants to move from this side of the machine over towards the needle, I'll step on the foot control at the same time and show you what I mean. So if you want to pan back again, you can see right now our bobbin is spinning as if the equivalent of winding a bobbin. We obviously would have it going through the track and such if we were doing that, but that's the only thing you have to do. And then I'll simply take this off, and I will not step on the foot control right now to demonstrate that it automatically, when you step on the foot control, after taking this bobbin off, that clutch automatically re-engages and you can go right back to sewing without doing anything. But we're threaded up right now, so you never want to run a machine without material underneath it when it's threaded up, obviously. Okay, let's go back into the machine again, and I just want to kind of go over the top here. And I know I'm sharing a lot of information, so just bear with me. This is such a cool machine, very simple to operate, but it has so many features and benefits to it. On the back of here, you can see that we have 2 spool pins. That tells you right away that this Husqvarna Model 21 is capable of doing dual needle sewing. And also with the right size needle, you could actually feed 2 threads simultaneously using some of those decorative patterns to get even more depth and dimension to the final project outcome. So gives you unbelievable versatility. The threading on this Husqvarna is also very simple. Coming off the back of here by this spool pin, we simply come across through these 2 thread guides down through the tension control area up to the arm, and then all the way down to the presser foot area. As far as clearance, I have never found another machine, whether it's a FOF, whether it's a Nietzsche, whatever it is, I've never found one with this much clearance under the presser foot. It's just absolutely unbelievable. And you'll see that when we do the various sew-offs. Even with multiple layers of leather, you still have lots of extra room underneath that presser foot. So if you're looking for a machine that can handle multiple layers of quilting batting or heavy duty leather sewing, whatever it is, this machine will get the job done for you. Also, another really awesome feature on this machine is obviously you can see, and I don't know if the camera can get a shot of this, the spans of this workspace bed area. One of the largest workspace bed areas out of any machine that we've ever worked with. It's just huge. I mean, whatever project you're working on, you still have lots of area to work around and to turn that fabric and just to maneuver things. It's so simple. But if you need to do a free arm work, you simply release a spring under here very easily, and that free arm simply slides off like that. And it's just as easy to slide that free arm back again and lock it into place. So this machine, regardless of what kind of sewing you're looking to do, it's able to meet that project requirement and meet it at the highest level. Let me show you some of the samples of stitch offs that we've already done with this awesome machine. Let me lower this one down. I'll show you this one first. Again, it comes with 3 very rare cams. Cams are very hard to find. You can search the internet high and low, and you simply can't find cams for these Husqvarna Model 21s. So we're really pleased we can offer you all 3, Cam A, Cam B, and Cam C. And this is just a very small sampling as the camera moves across on some of those stitches that are available from those cams. Let me show you another stitch off as well. We couldn't even fit them all on that first one, so here's some additional stitches. And again, as we always say in our videos, look at all these stitches, and this in and of itself is extremely impressive. But by adjusting your stitch width or your stitch length, you can alter these so the look of them is entirely different. So really, you have a limitless number of possible stitch output, stitch outcomes from this Husqvarna Model 21. Let me also show you the creative side of this amazing machine. This is a sample applique that we did, and here you can see really a small sample of some of the stitches on here. It's basically satin stitch style and then a straight stitch style, but the project outcome of this machine I think is just breathtaking, and it's only a small reflection of what this Husqvarna Model 21 can generate. It really is limited only by your imagination. I'll also real quick show you what those cams look like. Here's cam A and also cam B, and these are extremely easy to insert. There's a space on the back, as you'll see in the photographs, where you simply lower a lever, take the other cam out, and then slide the other cam into place, and that's it. There's nothing complicated about changing cams out whatsoever. And as you'll see in some of the stitch offs that we have coming up shortly, this is a automatic selection discs that we're going to be including with this listing as well. It's basically a dial-a-stitch type thing where, depending on the stitch that you want to select, you simply rotate that inner disc either way, and in 3 simple steps you can select that pattern and start sewing just like that. The other really cool thing is if you simply turn this disc over, for dual needle sewing, you've got the same very easy selection process of simply rotating that inner disc, selecting the pattern that you want to sew with a double needle, and you're off sewing just as quickly. Along with all the other things I've already given you to look at, we're also going to be including what I think is some very cool vintage material. This came with the original machine. Again, like most of the machines, I would say 99% of the machines we offer are single owner machines. They haven't been handed around to several different owners. They've been owned by one individual that bought the machine new, as in this case. And along with this machine, when it was first purchased back in the 50s, came this very cool vintage needle pack. And there's just a variety of needles that you can use for various sewing projects. I think it's really kind of a neat add-on that we can give you. Also, you can see the original owner's guarantee that came with this Husqvarna, guaranteeing basically from one end to the other, inside and out, for 25 years from the original owner that purchased it. So again, just some neat vintage material to go with this Husqvarna Model 21. Along with this, where it's simply obviously an advertising pamphlet that they used back in the 50s and 60s to promote this particular model, and it just goes in here and describes the different features and the ease of operation and just the amazing creativity of this machine. So this will be added as well. I just think it's kind of fun to have vintage materials that go with the machine. And also something extremely helpful that we'll be giving as well is this original Husqvarna automatic owner's manual. This manual will cover every feature of this machine. Again, I find this machine very easy to operate, but if you run into a point where you're questioning, okay, do I do this or do I do that, this will cover every aspect of it in very simple language, and we found this very helpful as we were going through one of our first models a long time ago. It just covers things so simply, and covers all the areas of the machine. There's nothing left to guessing. Also, this manual will help you to maintain this Husqvarna Viking at the high operating level that you'll receive it. We spend hours on every single machine that we list, not only on the outside of the machine, and not just to shine it up, but to really go in and just make that finish as clean as we possibly can, and always add a protectant to it as well. So the outside is serviced, the inside is serviced, and also it's obviously tuned up fully as well. This will help you maintain it at that high level, both cleaning the outside of the machine and then also the minimal amount of servicing that you'll have to do the machine in oiling it periodically, depending on the level of sewing that you have. That's a lot of information for me to share, but I want you to have all the information at your disposal so you can realize just how amazing this Husqvarna Model 21 is. And make sure you check out our other videos as well, where we're going to be covering in detail the heavy duty and the decorative side of this amazing Swedish machine as well.